Welcome back, Truth Seeker. I want to show you just how scripted the NFL is. As I've proven since 2014, 1,000 times over, the entire world of professional sports is a script, and when you know the code of Gematria, the code of letters and numbers, you can see how it is scripted. The reason this is so is because this code is important to Freemasonry, and Freemasonry controls the world of entertainment. All of the American sports, football, baseball, basketball, they're all credited to Freemasons. And if you want to say Naismith's from Canada, sure he is, but he was a Freemason and he established his sport in the United States. Also, Freemasonry is worldwide, so it's a moot point anyway. Anyhow, I pointed out why I liked the Browns to end their losing streak, Thursday night football, for a few primary reasons. The Browns were at 487 regular season losses, and they still are because they won last night. That's the 93rd prime number. And 93 is a really special number in this code. It symbolizes time. They tell us the sun is 93 million miles away. Also, out of the planets in the sky, only one has a gematria of 93. It's Saturn. It's the most important planet to the occult. It is considered the keeper of time. Saturn, the keeper of time. That's its name to the occult. And just wait until what I reveal about that phrase in light of how scripted this was. If you watched my preview video on Patreon, I explained these things. How drought equals 93. How this game, September 2018, 9 plus 20 plus 18 equals 47. The word time equals 47. Ohio 47. Baker Mayfield came in the first half, and as it's always scripted, he had 47 yards passing in his quick debut that got the crowd amped. Again, if you learn this code of letters and numbers, you can see how every game is scripted from the final score to the box score. Every single game, every single Sunday, the halftime stats are a perfect script. The final stats are a perfect script. It's this way every single game. You can prove it yourself instead of just listening to me by learning this simple code, which a second grader can apply. This is the alphabetic order. This is addition. This is counting. So anyway, 93, drought. Remember this. We're going to bring all this together. Look at the other gematria of drought. Drought, 39 and 33. In the exact same ciphers, New York equals 39 and 33. Let me just pull up the Gematria calculator so you can see this. Something else I talked about is how if Cleveland beat New York, their record for the season would be 1-1-1. Kind of like 111. With the alphabetic order, New York's 111. New York's also 39 and 33, like drought. And of course, it was number 39, Terrence Mitchell, who made the game-clinching interception by the numbers in the big Baker Mayfield coming out party. Mayfield 39, New York. Just the whole thing is such a joke, and you can see it every week when you know this code. You know, if you missed my preview video for the first Sunday Night Football, I said why the Packers were going to beat the Bears and how it was all about 18. And sure enough, Randall Cobb, number 18, scored the winning touchdown. And I just want you to see the name Randall Cobb in Gematria. 39, I said the game would be all about 39 because it was Sunday Night Football. SNF's 39. But if you go back and watch that winning touchdown by Randall Cobb, that play began with 2 minutes and 13 seconds on the clock, 2-1-3. And understand, I've been teaching this for years. When you know this code, you can see why they stop the clock where they stop it. Because oftentimes they'll stop it early, they'll let it run extra. It's because the whole game is a perfectly planned script, like a theater production, like a movie. It's the exact same thing. It's live theater with athletic actors. You know, ripping off their chin strap when they throw the intentional INT. It's just such a joke. You're watching millionaire sellouts to humanity when you watch pro sports. Again, the reason I knew that the Packers were going to win that game over the Bears is because Rodgers was going to get his 61st home win. 61's the 18th prime over the Bears to start the 2018 campaign, plus a few other things. So anyway, I saw that riddle, and then I was also thinking, okay, they made this game prime time, and they had the Browns play on Thursday Night Football. Who wants to watch the Browns? Well, I knew there was probably a riddle with Jim Brown. Lo and behold, the game was played on Jim Brown's 216th day of his age. 216, that's the Cleveland area code. When I saw the way these things lined up, I just knew that had to be it. The Browns are going to break their streak. They're going to end the drought. They're going to end it against New York. You got these classic football teams, the Browns and the Jets. This is how it played out. And a lot of times you can get ahead of these riddles, you know. Predicting the games, it's a difficult thing to do. You have to do enough decoding and look at the riddles. Some people thought I was wrong, and I mentioned in my preview video, I said if I'm wrong, the other possible narrative is the Jets could become 9-9 in Cleveland. Here we are in the 99th NFL season. This Sunday, September 23rd, it'll be the day leaving 99 days left in the year. But I said, I mean, that's a possible riddle, but I said the way all this other stuff lines up and Jim Brown and the 216 area code, it's got to be this. So I made that video public. It's now just not on my Patreon, so you can watch what I was saying. I had a prediction for Baker Mayfield, and we're going to talk about how that prediction wasn't right, but how it still fits the same narrative I was talking about. So here's a CNN Bleacher Report this morning. Number one pick, Cleveland. Number one pick leads Cleveland to epic and long-awaited victory. And you guys, I want you to understand, not only is this scripted crap, but it is purposeful racism. The NFL is always selling this narrative, and so many fans are invested in it, that the black quarterback's not a winner. Only the white quarterback can win. You know, Tyrod Taylor's a really good football player. You think he really couldn't make those passes last night? He's just doing what he's told. These guys are paid millions of dollars, not because... Look, I want you guys to just think about something. The way markets work are supply and demand. Now, how many supply are there for good athletes in this nation that would love to play for professional sports teams? There's millions, right? And those of us who are good athletes recognize that a lot of times these people that are out on the field, they're not even the best at what they do. You know, Baker Mayfield didn't make a single throw last night that impressed me. When I was Baker Mayfield's age, I threw the football better than him. And I can say that with a straight face because it's a fact. And people who know me and know my athletic ability, they know that's true. I can throw a football on a dime all day. I was watching Baker Mayfield's passes. They were behind his receiver all night. He's throwing to the best, biggest, fastest athletic men in the world. You know, talented men. He wasn't putting that ball where it needed to be. He was throwing it hard, but not very accurately, you know. Baker Mayfield's not that great. He's not even better than Tyrod Taylor. You know, it's just because it's all scripted. And it's part of that long, ongoing narrative. The white quarterback's better than the black quarterback. Look, only 2 black quarterbacks have ever won the Super Bowl, and they won it with the N-word ritual. Doug Williams won it with 42 points. You know, N-word 42. The only other quarterback to win it was Russell Wilson, who plays in the 42nd state, Washington State. Not coincidentally. And both quarterbacks... Washington State, Washington, D.C., the only 2 black quarterbacks to win. The territory is named after the slave owner, George Washington, the Freemason. You know, Freemasonry, slavery, using black men for their agendas. Sound like professional sports? Because it is. Slavery 42. By the way, yesterday's game was on the day leaving 102 days left in the year. You know, the black man got punked again. Again. How did the black quarterback for Alabama start his season? 5 for 9, really crappy stats. It is this scripted. Slave 59, Negro 59, Blues 59. Anyway. So Baker Mayfield, he came out and he led the epic victory. Cleveland 33, epic 33. When you write out 33, it sums to 141 like Mayfield. I'm always sure to document the stats throughout the game to prove my points about just how scripted it is. When Mayfield led his first touchdown drive, bringing the game to 14-14, and then he caught the 2-point conversion to tie it, go back and look if you have a DVR. There were 42 seconds on the clock. Mayfield's also 42. So is Freemason. Freemasonry is also 59. They're the ones that stamped this number on the black people. But 42 seconds when he caught his 2-point conversion. But look at his stats. Look at his stats as he leads his first touchdown drive to tie the game. 141 yards passing. It is this scripted, you guys. It is. That's why they call the penalties and set the ball and do these faulty spots. Look at how bad they're. Well, it's not how bad they are. It's because they're following the script. But just pay attention to where they spot the ball. Sometimes you're like, what? The ball wasn't there. Just drives me nuts that people can't see this stuff. Understood. I understood all this stuff about how rigged and pathetic these games were long before I understood this code. So anyway, at halftime, I had to laugh my ass off. The game's on a date with 47 numerology. They give us this pi score, 3 to 14, 3.14 pi, cycles, circles. Here we go again. It was a date numerology with 47 and 29, Ohio numbers, football numbers. Baker Mayfield, his debut at the half, 3 for 4 with 47 yards. You know, Jets not even trying to play defense, just leaving wide open passing lanes. Giving that Tom Brady cushion, I call it, that Tom Brady, Peyton Manning cushion, just leaving the receiver wide open, playing off him by 5, 10 yards, making sure there's a nice clear passing lane. NFL is such a joke. So anyway, he comes out with his Ohio debut by the numbers. The numbers we talked about in the preview video starts with 47 yards. Don't forget the first NFL season was, or not the first NFL season, the first Super Bowl season was the 47th season of the NFL. Why? Because there's 47 degrees on the Freemason compass. It represents the 47th problem of Euclid about how to establish foundation for a structure. The word foundation equals 47. Ohio is the birthplace of American football. What else was going on at the half? Oh, yeah, Carlos Hyde had 47 rushing yards. How about Bill O'Pell? How many yards did he have? Oh, he had 39 yards. The number in New York, like how Saquon Barkley's first NFL carry was for 39 yards, like how everything in New York's 39, G-Min's 39, NY's 39, NYC's 39, Empire's 39, the Empire State, the United Nations there is 39 floors tall. They hosted the World's Fair in 39. The first governor of New York, George Clinton, George 39, Clinton 39. George Clinton was born in 1739. New York was established July 26, 1788. 7 plus 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 is 39. You know, every single week you do the decoding. You see how the games are scripted. Look at how many yards the Jets quarterback had at the half. 93. Oh, the reflection of 39. You know, every week, a perfect script. Landry with 42 yards, and he got most of those yards from Mayfield right at the end of the half. The second receiver, 17 yards. Ohio, the 17th state. Like I pointed out in my preview video, the last time they won, they defeated a team with 17 points. Last night, the Jets went down with 17 points. Modern Masonry began in 1717. Mason 17. Again, Ohio, the 17th state. So, Joe Obert, he made a big interception at the end of the game. Number 53, 53. Here we are in the year of Super Bowl 53. Vesica Pisces equals 53, the shape of the football. 53-man roster, 53-yard wide field. Look at Vesica Pisces 82. Jim Brown's 82 this year. I don't think he's going to live much longer. Will he make it to football age, 83? He'll be lucky if he does. Remember, they murder people by this code. That's the other sick part about it. But anyway, Joe Schobert, number 53, with the big interception. Here's where it gets even better. This guy was the 99th pick of the draft. Here we are in the 99th NFL season. This Sunday, September 23rd, leaves 99 days left in the year. In what year was he born? 93. And he was born on November 6th, which is when? 47 days after his birthday. 47 days. Can you believe it? I can. I can. He helped end the drought. Time 47, Ohio 47, drought 93. Let's just type it in alphabetical order. Time 47, Ohio 47. The tropics of this earth, which measure the solstices, 47 degrees apart. The sun's 93 million miles away. Saturn, 93. We're going to get to that Saturn, the keeper of time thing. Again, date numerology of 47. By the way, these interceptions off Sam Darnold 68, interception 68, mathematics 68. He began his career with a pick 6 on Monday Night Football. Just in case you missed that, Go back and find my Monday Night Football video, first of all. From the first Monday Night Football, everybody needs to watch that video. The winning scores were 33 and 48. The Jets won with 48. Sam has the Gematria of 33 and 48. New York has the Gematria of 33. New York Jets 48. Joe Namath, who they're comparing, Sam Darnold to 33 and 48. Notice Joe Namath's 156. Sam Darnold's born on June 5th, the 156th day of the year. When you write out 33, it sums to 156 as well. The jokes are this big. The jokes are monumental. Hey, you remember how last year I called Baker Mayfield winning the Heisman? You know how I did it? You know how I did it? Right here. I measured from his birthday, which is April 14th, to the date of the Heisman Award, and I saw it was 239 days later, which was the big number in last NFL season, how I called the Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl after September 23rd. And Baker Mayfield, though, 239, wins the Heisman 239 days after his birthday. I just predicted in that last video where the Browns would win. I was thinking Tyrod Taylor was going to have a good game last night and get something going, but then maybe stall out later in the year, and Baker Mayfield would get his first start on December 9th, which is also a Sunday this year. They're going to play the Panthers on that Sunday. Panthers equals 52. 239 is the 52nd prime. This Heisman winner was right before Super Bowl 52. But pay attention. Baker Mayfield now got his first entrance in the NFL week where the primary games are on September 23rd, 23/9. Baker Mayfield, the big story of this week. He's going to be the talk of the town all day on September 23rd. You know, whenever the blowout games happen, they just start talking about other storylines. It's going to be Baker Mayfield before the game Sunday. After the game Sunday, they're going to be talking about Baker Mayfield, the number one pick, the man getting paid all the millions of dollars to throw those mediocre-ass passes. It just makes me sick as an athlete and someone who knows that he can throw a ball as well as Baker Mayfield. Like, why don't I have a $20 million a year contract? It's because I wasn't born and bred to be within these Masonic families, you know? It's because a person like me has integrity. I wouldn't play in rigged sports games even if you did pay me $20 million, you know? I'd go out and play in a professional sports league for $50,000 a year if it was honest competition and to play for my city. You know, I'm from Portland, Oregon. If we had an NFL team, you know, I'd be out there. Well, I'd at least be trying out. I know, for you Oregon people, you might remember this name, Nick Santangelo, college QB in Oregon. Nick Santangelo, played there in Portland. Kind of a star in the city for a while. Him and I grew up together. You know who was the better player? You know who had the better arm? I did. You know, you can even go find Nick Santangelo and ask him. So, Nick Santangelo, he was a good athlete, but he played second fiddle to me. We played sports together. We played on the same baseball team. Guess who didn't pitch as much as I did? Nick didn't. So, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but part of the reason that I saw through rigged sports is because I was a good athlete at a young age, and I used to just watch these guys drop balls and make these crappy passes, and I was just thinking, my God, I'm just a child. I'm better than these people. These guys get paid all this money? You know, I was trying to make sense of the world. My parents worked their ass off for no money. These athletes who can't even catch or throw the ball are getting paid millions of dollars. Didn't make any sense to me. You know? My dad would have chewed my ass if I made throws like these NFL players. Drop these balls. And my dad used to chew my ass, man. It's part of the reason I was good. He's a good athlete too. But anyway, Baker Mayfield. His whole career by the numbers. And this is why he's now going to get his entrance after this week passes. You know, Baker Mayfield, 58, like Freemasonry, like secret society. For you Browns fans who are still into your rigged sports, notice the 112. That's a Super Bowl number. I think good things are coming here in Baker Mayfield's future. You know, this guy's born and bred to be WWE NFL star. The glory's returning to Cleveland. They probably have to kill Jim Brown first. Probably be synced up with Jim Brown's death. That's the way it works. That's how sick this whole thing is. All this subliminal programming. All these NFL sheep. Oh, the quarterback, the black man, you know, they're good athletes, but they don't have the mind for the QB position. I can't tell you how many idiots I've heard say things like that in my lifetime. It's because they can't see through these games being rigged. Rigged bullshit. So anyway, let's finish here with Terrence Mitchell, number 39, putting the icing on the drought. New York 39, drought 39. Hey, he came from Oregon. I got to make a point about that. I overlooked that, but now I see something there with that too. So the Browns improved to 111. They beat New York. They ended the drought. New York 111-39, Mayfield 39, Terrence 39, Drought 39. Here's the clincher. Notice he's the 254th pick of the draft. This is written about in my book, Letters and Numbers. You want to pick up the best book you could ever get for $5. 773 pages long. That means you're paying about 2/3 of a penny per page. Each page is worth gold. Anyway, 254 is a number that goes with time and Saturn. The name of Saturn to the occult is Saturn, the keeper of time, 254. Remember Saturn 93. This game had a lot to do with 93. You got Joe Schmo, born in 93, making the pick before this guy. Time in the English extended cipher is 254. It's not a base cipher, but it's an important one. And when you learn the ciphers, you see just how well thought out all this stuff is. Saturn's associated with time. Time's 254 in this cipher. Time also has Gematria 20. You know what else has Gematria 20? The Browns had not won a game for 20 games. 19 losses and a tie. Kind of like 191, the 43rd prime. Football has that Gematria 43. 43 is the 14th prime. Baker Mayfield brought him back from down 14. Streak also has the Gematria 20. The streak ended at 20. Streak 43, 43, the 14th prime, 14-point comeback on it. The guy who made the clinching interception was from Oregon. Oregon is 74. Oregon's also 38. In these base ciphers, there's rules. There's numerology rules for the base ciphers. And if you take into account the numerology rules for the word streak, it's also 38. Like how the score was 21-17, 38 points. They hadn't won since Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, the last time they won. Christmas 38. That was the same day a SUV crashed through my house. That same Christmas Eve that they last won. That was a bad day for me. Merry Christmas. There's an SUV through your house. But, I don't know what more to say. You don't think these guys are born and bred to be? You don't think they're all picked accordingly for their future planned scripted roles? You don't think all these seasons are mapped out years in advance, including the dates of what day these people are going to be murdered? Got news for you. You're wrong. The only number we didn't cover with the drought is 96. I'll show you what's up with that. Freemason's 96, right? Freemason's also 42. If you take the numbers that divide into 42, the divisors, they sum to 96. There's a mathematical relationship. And again, Mayfield helps end the drought in the perfect script. You see? As a team, Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield finished for 220 passing yards and 190 net yards and a 74.2 rating against streak. But with regards to the 190 yards, Vesica Pisces, let me get rid of this one cipher. My eye only likes it when there's 4 of them up here. Vesica Pisces has the gematria of 190, the shape of the football. And with regards to the 220, National Football League, 220. Isn't that nice? Everything perfectly scripted. I could tell you more about the other stats too. But we'll leave it there. There's that 220 net receiving yards. 169 has a square root of 13. What did I say about 13 in this week? Did I say that we might see 13 home teams win in week 3? Home 13, 1399, Sunday, the day leaving 99 days left in the year in the 99th NFL season. The 99th overall pick, Joe Schmo making the big INT. If you want the rest of my picks, got to sign up for the Patreon. I've done this for 5 years for free. I taught you the knowledge. I burned up all my savings doing it. I got to make something back, you know. I'm like, if you do the math on how much was burglarized from my house, how much I had to pay to fix my own house, how much money I didn't make for the 5 years doing this work for free. We're talking about a big price tag that it cost me to put this knowledge out for all of you. And I've seen a lot of people say that you guys have won tons of money. I've seen people say they've bought multiple cars off this knowledge, more money in their bank account than they've ever had. What am I charging you for my picks? $5 a month. And I'm putting out a ton of content. And I'm working my ass off. It takes time to decode all these games thoroughly. It takes a whole lot of time, and then it takes time to present it. So if you don't got $5 a month, sorry, I can't help you. But realize I am still putting out knowledge for free because I'm trying to get the word out to everybody. But I do need the people out there who can help supporting because it's that time, Until next time, Truth Seeker.